Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video what we're going to discuss is Alchemy Pay and why I believe it is setting up for a very large move up. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click that bell icon for all notifications. You have to select all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for my daily TA live stream, all on the charts where I take your TA questions. Plus, you need to know when videos like this go live, right? You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram and TradingView. It is one word. It is Crypto Bull God. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others through sound, logical, technical analysis. We're all big boys and big girls, so we can make our own personal financial decisions. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to focus on 3 charts. We're going to focus on 2 USD charts as well as the Bitcoin pairing chart. And we're actually going to, for the USD charts, what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on price action. Price action is king. There isn't really too much to share on the price indicator front. It's really just a story of we've had this downwards correction / consolidation within price. And so the price indicators are oversold and they're trying to find their bearings. Some of them are beginning to level off, but nothing really exciting to share. Now, the pattern that I do have present here is a falling wedge. This is a bullish pattern. And what we can do for a pattern like this is we can draw the technical target for the initial breakout. This isn't telling us, okay, this isn't telling us where the final price will go. This is just where an initial target might go for price based on the pattern that is present here. So let's just say hypothetically that we have one more downwards price movement to take us down sometime during the month of September, and we don't break out until late September. What you want to do is, if we hypothesize, actually I'm going to say like the beginning of October. So if we broke out towards the beginning of October, that's how you draw your price point. So in theory, what I'm saying is we could ride up here, have one more final touch. We'll get into why I think that might be the case, and then have a breakout around here. It all depends where the breakout is for the technical target. If we broke out there at the beginning of October, you'd put the arrow there. If you think the breakout might not occur until here, you put it here. Regardless, that puts us up in this mid 2-cent range, right? So you're talking about essentially a doubling of price just based on the technical pattern alone. Now, I don't think prices are going to stop there, but that's just an initial target. And you can see beyond the falling wedge pattern that I have present, I have many areas of price confluence drawn out here. I have a zone of support right between 1 cent and 1.13 cents, and then all these areas of resistance from 1.4 cents all the way up towards 6.9 cents once we clear this local high right up here. Now, price has been consolidating for quite some time. This monumental rise in price that took everyone by surprise from January going into late February, you can see that since we had that huge breakout in price, how long have we spent correcting? We have been correcting for 195 days. And if you're paying attention to all of the content that I'm putting out there in terms of where I think Bitcoin's going, I just dropped a Bitcoin video. I'll actually leave that in the description if you want to check that out. And if you're catching my daily TA live stream, all in the charts, if you click the bell icon for all notifications and know when I go live for that live stream, keeping you abreast of everything going on within the markets, taking your TA questions, you would know my view on Bitcoin in terms of where I think things are going during the month of September. And also on that live stream, I have updated my audience pretty routinely on this falling wedge. For me, it's a matter of time. And again, there's no certainties, there's only probabilities. But for me, I look at a pattern like this and say, yeah, it's just a matter of time until this thing breaks out. There's a probability we could break up. There's a probability the pattern could be invalidated. We could break down. There's a probability we just continue going sideways longer than most people think and then eventually break up or break down, right? But I think the pattern ultimately will break to the upside. Again, there's a probability for this, not a certainty. And this project, ACH, has shown in the past that when it does make strong moves up, now we're using the Coinbase exchange, okay? We're using the Coinbase exchange. If you go to Huobi, exchange, you will see all of the price action associated for this project, and you will see the monumental rise we had in price. I believe it was back in 2021 where we rode up from, a fraction of a cent all the way up towards 25 cents, I believe it was at. So this thing does have the capability to run and run hard. So for this thing doubling in the span of a week, that would not surprise me one bit. And one thing I do want to be clear on in this chart is I am not saying that a big move is coming in this week or next week, right? I see the scenario where this thing could surprise a lot of people and start to pop off early. I also see the scenario where we have, and we'll get into this, but we could see one last dip down here before we start to make a big move. Either way, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks from now, I see a very large move in Alchemy Pay occurring. This thing has been consolidating for a very long, extended period of time at this point, as I had pointed out earlier. Now, interestingly enough, why do I think that 1 cent to 1.1 cent area could be tested before moving up? And keep in mind, if we do entertain this region down here, I would expect, for this pattern not to become invalidated, we would see not a candle body close in this area, we would see a volatility wick in this region. I think that there is a really great likelihood that we could see something closer towards a penny, We're right now at 1.3 cents. So you're talking about an approximate 30%, just shy of a 30% downside, maybe 20% downside, Now, the golden box here, what's kind of going on here, and why would I not be surprised if we would test that area? Well, this is a Fibonacci retracement, and we've looked at Fibonacci extensions, we've looked at Fibonacci retracements many a time. So if we take the bottom of this move all the way to the top of this move and look at retracement levels as we've come down, interestingly enough, we've gravitated right towards the 0.702. This is the level right in between the 0.618 and the 0.786 that I have pointed out before that sometimes prices like to gravitate towards. Really, it's anywhere between the 0.618 and the 0.786 on retracements is where you want to look, right? So far, we've hit the 0.702, and what I like about the 0.786 fib retracement is that it's lining right up in between this not the golden zone. The golden zone I have drawn between 0.702 and 0.1. That's my golden buy opportunity. That's where if we're in this area between 1.3 cents to 1 cent, that is my golden buy opportunity. That is where never financial advice, but that's where it's very logical for me to accumulate hard on this thing. But what I like specifically about the 0.786, if I remove the golden pocket for a moment so it's not distracting, you can see these two horizontal green areas of support are right in the middle. It's right in between this area of the 0.786 fib retracement. Anytime you can get multiple views that give you price confluence on a price area or price zone, it lends more credibility or credence to that area. It makes me feel increasingly confident that there's a really good likelihood we could see prices enter that area. I also like the story that sort of lines up with my view on potential downside volatility we'll see on Bitcoin, that we could see some sort of quick flash crash capitulation into this zone, a wick, and then a sharp recovery back up into this formation. Not saying it'll definitively happen. I never do that on this channel, but I certainly see that as a possibility. But really, anything between 1.3 cents and 1 cent is a great buy opportunity, in my opinion. Now, let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. One of the things I really like to see in this chart, during the monumental rise, obviously what this chart is telling us is, Alchemy Pay far outpaced Bitcoin during that huge length up, and since we've monumentally corrected and had some consolidation to the downside. But look what's going on in the chart. Even though we were decreasing in value, look at the relative strength index that's been increasing in value. The other thing that I like to see in this chart, if we remove this arrow, you can see right now we're starting to gain our ground, and we're starting to, not only are we not going down, but price is stabilizing right around a key area of price confluence that I have identified here. So it would be really nice to see this area hold and then continue to start to move up to see if we can't create higher highs on this chart up here. All right, so I like what I'm seeing on the Bitcoin relativity value chart as well, that we're going to see, in my opinion, very limited downside on this chart. If you appreciate the content, make sure to give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, share what you liked or didn't like about the video, and make sure you click the bell icon, I should say, for all notifications. You have to select all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for my daily TA live stream, all in the charts, taking your TA questions. Plus, as I say, you always have to know when videos like this go live. So until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, fiat dollar, on crypto bull guy and his crypto maniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you?